If you're looking to move to Oshawa, but you're not sure which area is going to work best for you, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to cover the pros and cons of some of Oshawa's most popular neighborhoods, and I'll tell you which areas are great and which areas you might want to avoid. My name is McLaughlin, and I'm a lifelong resident and also a realtor with the Lisa Abbott team here in Oshawa, Ontario. I make videos to try and help give you an honest and unfiltered perspective into the Durham region real estate market. If you'd like to stay up to date on everything happening in Oshawa and Durham region, then consider subscribing to the channel. And whether you're coming from the other side of Toronto or the other side of the country, if you have any questions about our market or the different areas when it comes to buying or selling a home here, you can use the link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you. Now, before I get started, I'm making this video from the perspective of if I was new to the area, what would I want to know before I bought a home and moved here? The areas that I point out and say you should avoid are not on the list because I think that there's anything wrong with the people living there, but it's my job to point out the positives and negatives of each area my clients are interested in, and ultimately it's up to them to decide which area is the most suitable for them and their families. You're going to have to weigh things like affordability, lifestyle, distance to work and family, school zones, amenities, and many other factors to help make the right choice for you. As I go through these areas, I will cover affordability, appreciation over the last 5 years, distance to major highways, age of the homes, schools, amenities, and the overall neighborhood and lifestyle that comes with living there, because these are the things that are often most important to the first-time homebuyers and families I've helped move here from out of town. We're going to start off with an area that I would suggest that most people avoid, and that is Central Oshawa. Central Oshawa stretches from the Oshawa Creek to Wilson Road and from King Street to the 401. Although it's conveniently located near downtown Oshawa and is easy to get to and from the 401 for commuting, this area definitely does have some issues. Downtown Oshawa is home to many resources for those struggling with addiction and homelessness, so naturally it has attracted a significant amount of people dealing with those issues. While downtown is slowly turning around and improving as new concert venues and restaurants open, it can be a great place to grab a bite to eat and watch some of your favorite bands play or catch a local hockey game. It's not an area I would recommend for purchasing a home, specifically between Simcoe and Ritson and Olive to King Street. This is honestly just a rougher area of Oshawa, and although you'll see some more affordable older detached homes come up for sale there, some of the neighboring communities can offer similar homes for comparable prices. For example, areas of O'Neill or Vanier can offer a more comfortable living environment, especially for families. It's not uncommon to see out-of-town buyers purchase in that pocket of Central Oshawa because of its affordability and then put the home back up for sale within a year or two if they realize it's not what they were expecting. And if the market has shifted from when they bought it to when they're trying to sell it, it can become a much more difficult sale, and I've seen some sell at a significant loss. That of course can happen anywhere when the market shifts drastically, but it's less dramatic in other areas that are more desirable regardless of market conditions. With that said, Central Oshawa over the last 5 years has also had the best appreciation at an average of 15.2% per year. With prices hitting extremes in recent years, it's pushed many buyers into the more affordable areas, increasing demand in those areas during that time. Most homes in Central were built pre-1960s, and this could be said about many pockets of Oshawa, but the general upkeep of these homes can vary from pocket to pocket. Not all of Central Oshawa is the same or should necessarily be avoided. On the east side of Ritson Road, there are some quiet, mature neighborhoods with older bungalows, and many of the owners have lived there for decades. The next area isn't that far from Central Oshawa, but it offers a more family-friendly experience, and in my opinion, it's one of the best areas of Oshawa, and that is the McLaughlin community. McLaughlin is great for several reasons. There's a variety of home types, and you can find anything from semi-detached homes in the mid-600s to much larger detached homes that go well above $1 million. The homes in this area were mostly built during the 1960s to the 1980s and are primarily owner-occupied homes. McLaughlin is convenient because it's located close to shopping like the Oshawa Center, as well as multiple plazas that are homes to businesses like Walmart, Starbucks, grocery stores, clothing stores, and different restaurants, so you have almost everything you need within a 5-minute drive. The 401 and GO station are also located just a few minutes down the road, so commuting to and from work is going to be a lot easier in McLaughlin than in other communities. Overall, it's a great area that's always in demand and has seen good appreciation over the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, it's averaged about 13% per year, which puts it right in the middle, but it's also an area that if the market switched to a buyer's market, it would still be somewhere that people would want to move to. The drawbacks of McLaughlin are that there are no new homes. There's been the odd home that someone has torn down and built new, but for the most part, you're looking at homes that are anywhere from 35 to 60 years old. Stevenson Road can also get pretty busy. There are a couple of schools along that road, so around 2:30, 3 o'clock, it can start getting pretty busy and stay busy until the end of rush hour. But the nice thing is, it's a really short drive from the highway to anywhere in McLaughlin, and although Stevenson Road does get busy, the side roads and neighborhoods attached to it don't tend to see too much traffic. And I'd also caution you about the area surrounding Rideau Street and the apartment and townhome complexes in that area. It's a small area in McLaughlin and it doesn't affect the surrounding neighborhoods in my opinion, but that little pocket is mostly rented apartments and townhomes with a few owned homes on some of the side streets, and unless you're getting a really great deal on the home, I would not suggest you buy in that little pocket or backing onto those apartment buildings. The other side of Park Road or Gibbons is a more desirable area and would do a lot better for resale. As I recommend with any areas you're considering, if you're able to, take a drive through them and get a feel for them yourself. The next area is another one that I would probably recommend you avoid, and that is the community of Windfields. It's located in North Oshawa between Conlin Road and Winchester. The homes are mostly newer, built around or after 2011, with new communities still being built. There's also a large variety of homes from condo apartments to townhomes and up to large detached homes. There are new restaurants and shopping within the community, and it also just had a new Costco built there. I'm sure you're thinking these all sound like great things. Why is this an area I should avoid? And there are a few reasons for that. It's located very close to Durham College and Ontario Tech University, so while this area works great for students, it's home to a lot of students. When you're looking at homes, it can be hard to tell which of your neighbors are other families and which of your neighbors have a bunch of students living in them, and your neighbors can change frequently. It's also seen an increase in crime, and there's been a number of violent crimes and shootings that have happened up there. Of course, bad things can happen anywhere, but it's something that people might not realize that an area as new and expensive as Windfields has really been seeing in recent years. If you're a student or someone who's looking to purchase a condo there because it's affordable and the location works for you, I can totally understand that. But if you're a family who's looking at the townhomes or detached homes in that area, you might want to consider looking just outside in a community like Kedron or parts of Samac, because those areas are going to have almost all of the same benefits as Windfields, but you can avoid most of the negatives. In my opinion, if you're spending $900,000 to well over $1 million, which is what many of those homes sell for, you should feel safer and more comfortable about the neighborhood you're living in. One thing to note about these North Oshawa communities, you're located near the 407 highway, but that's a toll highway and it can be quite expensive to use, especially if you commute daily. And if you have to get to the 401 from these communities, the traffic can be bad on the main roads that run north and south to the 401. But you can take Winchester or Taunton Road heading west to the 412, which will take you straight south to the 401. The next area I would recommend you consider is the Centennial community. Centennial runs from Rosslyn Road to Taunton Road and from the Oshawa Creek to Wilson Road and has a number of great pockets and mature neighborhoods. Over the past 5 years, Centennial has averaged nearly a 12% appreciation per year, which is a crazy high number compared to normal, but the last 5 years with prices going so high, it actually puts it in the bottom half of Oshawa's community. Depending on which pockets you're looking at, the homes were mostly built from the 1960s well up into the 80s, but most of these areas are very well looked after. You have the area that's west of Simcoe Street on streets like Hortop, Sherwood Avenue, and Sunset Drive, where you will find mostly older bungalows and 1.5-story homes with the odd split-level home in there as well. These are quiet, mature streets with homes that tend to be very well maintained. We've had clients and family members who have lived there for many years, and they have absolutely loved it. Those homes usually sell starting at the low 700s and can go well north of 800,000. But on the other side of Somerville Street, you have Mohawk Street, which is home to Sunset Heights Public School. The homes in this area tend to be a bit larger and located on larger lots. There are some more unique homes there, and it's a slightly more prestigious or sought after area. And those homes, because they're larger, can sell anywhere from $1 million to $1.4 million, depending on the property. And from Simcoe to south of Beatrice, you'll find plenty plenty of pockets that have those same older bungalows and 1.5-story homes. There are some more unique older homes along streets like Masson and Mary. And for schools, I mentioned Sunset Heights Public School already, but there's also Bow Valley Public School near Ritson Road, which is also rated very well. The only area that I would caution you about in Centennial is around Nonquan Road. Nonquan Road has had an unflattering reputation over the years, but I know that some people really like it and are saying that it's really improving, so that's a positive. But it is still a higher density area, lots of older apartment buildings and townhouse complexes. The homes you'll see come up for sale in that area are condo townhomes, and they sell between $450,000 and almost $600,000, but there is a monthly maintenance fee as well. While it's not an area that I would usually recommend to people if your budget will allow you to search in different neighborhoods, if you need a 3-bedroom townhome for about $500,000 in Oshawa, your options are going to be limited and this might be worth exploring. The other drawbacks of Centennial are that Simcoe Street gets very busy, but as long as you're not living right on Simcoe Street, you should have easy access to alternate routes like Somerville Road, Mary Street, or Central Park Boulevard. All right, we have 2 left. The next area I think you should avoid is Lakeview. Lakeview actually has some really great affordable options. You can get some smaller, older homes starting around the mid to high 600s, and most homes in Lakeview will sell around or below $800,000. Lakeview has also seen some of the highest appreciation in the last 5 years, averaging 14.6% per year for similar reasons that I mentioned about Central Oshawa. You can find some neighborhoods right by the water, and Oshawa has a great lakefront space. There are walking trails, parks, and there are events held a couple times a year like Rib Fest as well. It's an area that's slowly getting better, and I think that it's going to only continue to get better moving forward. Plus, it's located close to the 401 and GO train as well. But with that said, there are a couple of reasons that I've kept it on my list of areas to avoid. One of the reasons is that Lakeview is very pockety. While there are some great little streets and courts that are kind of tucked away, there are some rough patches sprinkled throughout, most notably around Wentworth, Oxford, Cedar, and Glen Street. But we've also had clients who purchased in these pockets and have had really good experiences. Another reason is the prices. Lakeview used to be way more affordable than any other area, and that's still kind of true for some of the condo apartments and condo townhomes, which you can find from about the $400,000 mark for an apartment up to mid or high $500,000 for a townhome. But when you get into the detached and semi-detached homes down there, some of them can sell for $650,000 to well beyond $800,000. And when you're shopping in that price point, unless you highly value being near the lake or trails down there, you can find similar homes in other communities that don't have the rougher pockets around them. The last area I would recommend that you consider is actually 2 areas, but they're connected and share many similarities that I thought I would combine it to save you some time. And those areas are Donevan and Eastdale. These communities stretch from Wilson Road to Town Line Road, which is the Oshawa-Curtis border. Donevan stretches from the 401 up to King Street, and Eastdale is from King Street to Roslyn Road. Both of these areas have a variety of home types that are varying in ages, but the great thing about these areas is that there really aren't any bad pockets, and there's something for everyone. There's a fantastic pocket south of Adelaide and west of Harmony Road, which has a lot of ranch bungalows that were built around 1960. You don't typically see a high turnover in that area, and that's because everyone tends to love it. We've been lucky enough to have a few listings in that pocket recently, and every time it's the sweetest family who's lived there for decades and takes a lot of pride in caring for their home. Those bungalows can range from the mid 700s to mid 800,000. On the other side of Harmony, you have Regent Drive, Keewatin Street, and Beaufort Avenue that have some smaller bungalows, but also some larger and really unique homes, and some of them back onto green space or a ravine. It's kind of a hidden and forgotten pocket, but it's a really peaceful area. The east side of Eastdale towards Town Line Road, you will find some great neighborhoods that have a lot of newer and larger detached homes that range from $900,000 to about $1.3 million, depending on the age and size of the property. And then just north of Adelaide, but on the west side of Harmony, that is the Galahad Park area, and you can find some really good affordable options tucked away in there. There are semi-detached homes that sell from about $675,000 up to about $750,000. And then just south of of Eastdale, you have the Donevan community, which also has a variety of homes and is similar to Eastdale in many ways. You have the typical older Oshawa bungalows in many neighborhoods that often sell between $740,000 and $850,000. You can find some semi-detached properties which offer a bit more of an affordable option and tend to sell around or just under $700,000, and you can even find some 4-level side split and back split homes around Olive Avenue and Keewatin Street, which offer something a bit more unique, and they sell anywhere from the $750,000 up to close to $900,000 price point. And the closer you get to the Oshawa-Curtis border at Town Line Road, you can find some larger detached homes that sell between $1 million and $1.4 million. Also at Harmony and Olive is the new townhome development that was recently completed on Okanagan Path, and they sell between high 700s and mid 800,000s. Over the past 5 years, both areas have appreciated very well, Eastdale averaging 12.6% and Donevan averaging 13.4%. Both communities also have easy 401 access using Harmony Road. The GO station is a straight shot down Bloor Street, and because it's close to the Curtis-Oshawa border, you're close to shopping and restaurant options in both areas. One of the only real drawbacks to these areas, in my opinion, is that Harmony Road gets very busy during rush hour times, but if you live in Eastdale or especially Donevan, you don't have to go very far to get home once you're off the highway. And if you're tucked away in one of the pockets that I've mentioned, you pretty much only see local traffic going through those areas. So there you have pros and cons for some of the most popular communities in Oshawa. It's ultimately up to you to decide which area is best suited for you and your family, but you can use the link in the description to book a call with me if you have any questions about any areas in Oshawa or Durham region, or if you think I might be the right fit to help you make the best, most informed decision. This video is by no means a complete breakdown of all areas and pockets of Oshawa, as that would be way too long of a video, but if you found it helpful, then please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos on the Durham region real estate market. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next video next week. Bye!